Disney has finally revealed the Disney Starlight Parade. So yesterday, they hinted at a big portion of this actually being accessible through, we call it Imagineering, this kind of infrequently running show, I will say, on YouTube. It actually has some great footage attached to it, and it has some Imagineers on record, and actually explaining the decisions behind a lot of their newest projects. It actually is very helpful as a fan to kind of get in the mindset of what they're actually doing. But now we have seen some of these floats. Here's a new look at Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away, the new nighttime parade coming to Magic Kingdom on July 20th. The new episode of We Call It Imagineering also introduces Whimsy, the character on the front of the finale float. And I believe that's, if I'm not mistaken, Whimsy right there. So,
you mean it's not Thomas the Tank Engine because they didn't want to pay for it?
Yeah, that
I'm just asking because
that's true.
When I think the word whimsy, I naturally think of a train. No. Oh, yeah. It's to make up for the fact that the train at Magic Kingdom is no longer making the trip for several years to come.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. They rejected the first idea that was Tom. It was just close to Thomas the Tank Engine right there. But you can see this isn't concept art. This is real lights. I do appreciate Scott Houston for breaking it down for us.
Lawyers were okay with this.
Shovel-ready lights, no doubt.
Yes.
No screens lights, no doubt.
Nope. Oh, well, I think Whimsy's face is a screen there, but yeah. It's, actual practical lights. Now, they did include a little bit of commentary on this specific detail. Jiminy Cricket will conclude Disney Starlight Dream Night Away, a nod to Magic Kingdom's Spectro Magic Parade. Disney Live Entertainment's Evan Peltier, Anna Beltran, and Javier Beltran brought Jiminy Cricket to life following Eric Goldberg's hand-drawn animation. That's pretty cool. There were some reports that they actually worked alongside Eric Goldberg, but well, there you go. So you got Jiminy Cricket introduced there as well. And you can see some video of this actually playing out right now. There is some commentary over this, but I wasn't able to, I wasn't able to remove the music, so you're just going to have to live with the visuals right now.
Much like the Dragon of Phantasmic, you got to use your imagination for the music and the whimsy here. Am I right, Vash?
Yes. Some imagination, huh? Uh-huh.
There you
go. When I watch these things, I get that they're trying to show off their new parade, and that's cool. But when they cut to the shots of the Imagineers going, isn't it wonderful? Like nobody knows there's a camera on them, and they aren't being prompted to do it. God, methinks they doth protest too much.
Yeah.
Whimsy is in the eye of the beholder, not of the bespoker. Look at those two. That woman going, oh, look at it. Isn't it wonderful? Come on.
Yeah, and she... But
this is what they're trying to do. And they're trying to give respect back to Imagineers that for the last 15 years have lost a lot of respect based on almost everything they've done outside of Pandora. Pandora, by the way, I think is still fantastic, even though Navi River was cut short by quite a few minutes and quite a few animatronics. But what have the Imagineers brought us in the last decade that's been absolutely great? I will say that when I'm on Rise of the Resistance, I have one favorite part of that attraction, and I'm shuffled through that part so quick it's ridiculous, and that's the Stormtroopers. Like when you're on the ship and it opens up and you're offloaded and you're in that bay with the Stormtroopers. I mean that's amazing, but then they shuffle you out. Like you can't even spend 30 seconds in there. And
I know.
And here's an interesting comparison, Ron. I would say that section is probably the biggest set piece of any Disney attraction, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Well, so compare that to the Ministry of Magic Hall when you go.
Oh, wow.
There. Yeah. There is no comparison, right?
No. Yeah, and you're allowed to stay in that area for...
Here's a big empty room with a bunch of robot guys in suits standing around, and I understand it's impressive, and I know it's impressive, but walk by and look at it as opposed to walk through it, walk in it, be around it, have images changing all around you, I don't know. It's just yes, they're making real an illustration as opposed to making real an environment.
So my whole point is that they're trying to get that Imagineering reputation back, and it's fairly clear. by them making moves like this, that they've lost a lot of that reputation. And when you go to Epic Universe, you realize that they've lost a lot of the great Imagineers. They're all over doing things for Universal now. And I know that because I know some of them personally who have made that move. And
but it's also, they're trying to make that move, Ron, trying to reclaim that, that goodwill, right? And trying to make their mark by doing kind of derivative things. I mean, Starlight, as impressive as this might actually look, well, it's derivative of Electrical Parade and
the proof of
Spectral Magic that came before that.
My first thought was, how long will it be before they're selling these light bulbs in little boxes for $14?
Yes.
That was my first thought, really. I'm going, this is the same gig,
Yeah, go ahead, Nolan.
I just wanted to weigh in here and say, like, I do like what they're doing here. If I could bring it back to this show itself, like, I think this is some of that kind of more classic type Disney that, we've been kind of vouching for. We've had a lot of criticisms, with Iger since his return, that's like, this doesn't feel like Disney. It feels like IP land. This is something, while not, the most original idea, we've seen it, with Thomas the Tank Engine or the little engine that could, but it's got kind of a flair to it, with all the lights. And I've said before, I'm a biased sucker for cool RGB lights and that kind of thing. But, like the big Starlight bolt text, like it gets me excited. It feels cute. This feels like something I'd be happy to take a family to or a date or whatever have you. I hope that this is a good direction, so to speak, on hopefully they're going to go more for this, like some of the things that kind of like, okay, I kind of vibe with that. And we can see kind of that magic come by, as opposed to you constantly look at everything. It's like, oh, well, this looks like a budget cut. This looks like I'm getting robbed of all my money and stuff. This looks like a fun, entertaining opportunity. And it's not like, actually being on the show today, this is the first I've seen of the new show, and I like so far, they're not making it as like, it's the biggest theme park breakthrough in the world. They're competing with Epic Universe here. And this, a lot of the things they've been doing right now kind of look like stuff you would see within Epic Universe's queues or pieces of their attractions, as opposed to the full-on thing. And I think this shows that they couldn't really be taking that train to a very good destination if they can, hit the nail on the head here.
This has well-known characters, IP, lights. Do you think this even vaguely compares with that end of the night fountain show at Epic? Even when they don't do it, the version with the fireworks and the drones, just the fountains and the lights, there's no comparison. And the question is, if you stayed to see this and you camped out on the parade route an hour and a half before, or whatever you had to do to get a good spot, and you saw it, would you come back and do that again?
It's a fair point. And Ron,
and I would do that for the show at Epic every damn night, because it's that glorious and that that all-encompassing, and the fact that it runs through the park all at once, as opposed to we stand here for 3 hours to get a good seat, and then we wait for 20 minutes till the parade gets to our area, and it goes by in 5 minutes and it's over. It may be a glorious, wonderful light parade, swell, but is it a repeatable, shareable, tell all your friends they got to do it experience? From what I'm looking at, and again, I'm not there seeing it in person, but it just doesn't. It's another Disney.
I will be able to tell you for sure after the 21st, because that's when I'm going to see it, which is the second night, because I'm blocked out on the Sunday that it opens. But my biggest thing about this parade, because you can be as fancy as you want with all the lights and characters and everything else, but that music, it has to jam. What was it?
No question.
Baroque's Hoedown, or whatever that Main
Baroque
Street Electrical Parade music is fantastic. And Spectral Magic had fabulous music. I love Spectral Magic. So I hope to God that they have somebody that they hired who is phenomenal with the music on this one, so that we get something hopefully brand new with the music, but also Disney whimsical and has that charm and has everything that we love about Disney music. I'm assuming that's not in any of this footage too.
It might be. I have to actually examine it more closely from the context of the actual video and which this is presented. So I don't actually know if they include that in here, but it has to be. It's got to slap. All right, as the kids would say.
Let me ask another question. Would you buy a plushie of that train?
I would. I'm a train guy.
Okay. I buy the
train guy spoken.
Buy the toy of it for sure.
it can't be understated how important music is to something like this and the lifespan it actually has. Like Paint Tonight, you know, when can we do this again? Owl City and all of that. Very, very, very pivotal for that parade. You said earlier, Ron, Baroque Hoedown, absolutely pivotal. Spectrum Magic. Nolan, I want to go ahead and go to you if I can, very, very quickly. Do you think this will actually get people into the parks finally? Because we know that like July, June, they've been very down times with the parks recently, or at least Magic Kingdom, that is. Do we turn it around with this particular entertainment package?
It would have to be a part of a bigger piece. Like, this ain't no dragon. It ain't a showstopper. Like, it takes a lot of, you either need to come packing on all cylinders with, you know, A tier attractions, you know, like that can just go bam, bam, bam. We have like 5 really solid, good stuff in store for you, and you can make a whole night out of it. Or you need something that completely wows you. I think it's all a matter of what is surrounding it at the end of the day. Like, because by itself, like if they were promoting this as like on their brochure or something like that as, hey, come to Disney in 2025. This is the hot new thing. Come see the train. Well, you can go to the zoo and go on a train, you know, even if it is quite a bit different. I think this is a great complementary piece to an amazing day you could have at Disney and just cap off your day on a fun way. So I think they need to come in here with another 2 attractions that are around this level, if not a bit better, honestly, to be like, hey, look, we need to give you a reason to come to Disney in 2025, especially with the prices they're presenting these days.
And if you're local and you've got an annual pass, would you come in the morning and stay all day to see this? Or would you say, well, I've seen everything else and I'll show up about 5, 6 o'clock and maybe I'll have a hot dog and watch the parade and go home.
No,
And that'll be my one time.
That's why they made it so that you have to have reservations to get into the Magic Kingdom, regardless of the time of the day that you come. So my understanding is you cannot have Epcot reservations and hop later to Magic Kingdom to see this parade. If you wanted to do that, you have to start at Magic, go to Epcot, and then come back to Magic. That's my understanding of the way they've done the rule. But the other thing about this parade, and I can't believe you haven't shown this yet, Vash, is obviously the property that everybody's so excited to see is the Wish Float. Where's the Wish Float? We all wanted to see. I don't remember her name.
Ron, I was in a good mood for your comment.
Asha, that's right. Asha, Ava, it doesn't matter. I hope they have
want to buy one of those star cookies. Is that the thing you're making?
Let's see the Wish Float. Here you go. So right there. That is the Wish Float that's going to be part of this Starlight.
Is it Wish or is it Temu?
Are people going to say, wait, is that, was that like, what happened to Stitch? How did he get turned into a goat? And is that the little girl all grown up and, you know, she domesticated him and he became, if you never saw Wish, which most people never did.
Most people never
do you even know who the hell this is or care?
They know. Sorry to cut you off there, Vash, but I just have to ask the people at Disney. They know this film didn't do well. Is this the real reason why Disney is suffering right now? Because do they just not look at the spreadsheet? Like they're in just blissful ignorance of the fact that they just literally do not know? Because I cannot even comprehend to think why they thought this was okay to greenlight. Maybe unless they're trying to pad out their princess portfolio. Wow, that is very satisfying to say. But besides that, I don't understand why they would take a brand. Like you don't see the Treasure Planet parade floating around or the Home on the Range. What the heck?
Emperor's New Groove float.
I'd argue Treasure Planet is bigger than Wish.
Emperor's New Groove would be awesome too. As long
but wait. When exactly? I'm trying to remember what month, what year Wish came out and died.
November 2023.
Okay, so did it just get approved and by momentum nobody wanted to take it out? Because to take it out, to say to Big Bob, you know that movie you approved that dropped like a stone? We're thinking we don't want that in the parade. He would say, what, are you criticizing my judgment of...
Hey, as long as there's no Strange World float, I'll be okay.
We're talking November 2023. Wasn't that also the same time the Marvels came out? It's been so long, it's hard to remember.
It was the 100th.
It shows how irrelevant it is now.
They're putting this in there because it marks the 100th anniversary of the company. That's
a terrible reason. But I think you're right.
Reason.
That's a terrible reason. Don't do this. Don't do that. You don't mark it with Wish, okay? Wish is not the apex, all right? It's not the thing that we've been leading up to release.
Maybe what they need to do to just make people even more mad, they need to make the parade floats like former attractions to celebrate the history. So we'll have Tom Sawyer Island, we'll have Splash Mountain. Just stick the fork in a little deeper.
Yeah, exactly. Ron, I'm going to ask you now, and that'll conclude this segment right here. Do you think that the the nighttime parade featuring Wish, but more importantly, this Starlight parade in its totality, do you think it's enough to get people finally back to Magic Kingdom?
No, I do not. I don't think it's enough because it only takes place at night. As you know, it is daytime until 9 o'clock here during the summertime. And then about a month after this debuts, not even a month after this debuts, what happens? Halloween. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party happens. So now you're interfering. You don't even have this parade. You have the paid for parade, which, by the way, the Halloween parade always been fantastic. So no issues there. But that's a whole different ticket system than just regularly going to the park. As a matter of fact, there will probably be some incidents of guests thinking that they're going to see this, buying a ticket for the Magic Kingdom to see this, and then going to the park to realize that their day gets cut off at 6 o'clock because unfortunately that always happens. There's people who just they're not planning it out. They're not expecting the park to close at 6 o'clock.
Sure.
That just always happens. So I think that there's going to be some demands for refunds when it comes to stuff like that. I think that they had to do something to make up for the fact that you've got basically a third of the park shut down and behind construction walls, and with Rivers of America, Liberty, the Liberty Bell boat, the Tom Sawyer's Island, all gone away, which is an amazing place of refuge, which is sad because that's gone forever now. This doesn't make up for it, but it does give people something to stay for later if they're already there. Now, if good word of mouth gets out about this parade, that could excite people that Disney is maybe starting to come back to form and doing the things that they used to do, because a night parade has always been a staple of the Magic Kingdom. So the fact that it's been gone for like a decade is pretty wild. It needs it. It absolutely needs it. I don't think it helps with competition with Epic by any means, but we're going to have to see what happens with travel in general over the next few years because, again, Disney has, it's like the Test Track thing. I know we haven't talked about that, but I've been on Test Track, the new Test Track, and it's 5% better, but it's not enough percentage better to really move the needle.
Right, and to justify a visit to Epcot, and in this case, maybe not to the Magic Kingdom. We'll have to see about all this. I'm very curious because there was some people out there saying, "Hey, attendance going to go ramp right back up for Starlight." I think it might, maybe, but is it too late? And Ron makes a good point. This parade should have been debuted April, May, something like that.
Yeah.
Not at all in the middle of July because, like he said, it's only going to run a couple of weeks up until Halloween, and then now you have to share this with Mickey's Not So Scary. I don't think that's gonna do it right there. I love this right here by Chef Eddie. Maybe WW Pro will let them use Summer Sizzle for the music. Can you imagine?
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.